and even then we have nothing to actually defensible. I think that does it. He's getting in for 4/4/4 next turn. So do I risk bringing in a little bit quicker defense at the sake of opening myself up to Vigilante Justice? I really don't think that's the way to go. I think we just got horribly unlucky with land. Much better. 1-drop, 2-drop, 2-drop removal. Pretty sweet. I'm actually going to go, well, depending on what he plays, but in a vacuum, I'd play the Apprentice and give it flying because I'd rather leave the Ghoul on the ground for chumping. He's got a slow start. Obviously attack first if he's got something to kill. The Apprentice, say, then I'd rather bring in my Ghoul soulbound. Unfortunately, I can't F6 here. I've got an Alchemist and a Human Frailty to worry about, which I will be taking out. I'm dumping a bunch of my Scars of Mirrodin block stuff, plus some extra packs. So I might have people talking to me here. Anytime, buddy. Packs are always in the same place. So while I do have a board presence, it's nothing too scary. So I'm really hoping I get that fourth land soon. Pretty good for him. Okay. So I should be safe attacking with this Executioner. Depending upon what he drops, unless he drops like a Soul Lancer, should be safe attacking with everything. Just to push in a little bit of damage. Wow. Really? That's just so nasty. I was land screwed last game, so he brings in Demolish. So it looks like I'm just attacking with the Executioner. Oh, or do I get super greedy and attack with everything and then just Deathwind it? That just allows me to force in 3 damage and kill his creature as opposed to just forcing in 2 damage and keeping a Deathwind. So just considering popping this Apprentice now, and I've got this to chump, so I really think I should. If I get that other land, I can play an Executioner now. Yep. So for going a second Demolish here, we're back and looking pretty. There's that Lancer we were fearing. Didn't bind it. So I guess he just plans to attack with the Explorer, huh? Yeah. So I think I'll just be, if I draw a land, I could Deathwind the wall. Trading a Lancer doesn't do a whole lot because I can't do anything with the -2, -2. If I just Deathwind the Lancer, or I could just attack with both, and maybe just trade an Executioner for a Lancer. I Deathwind and I get in for 2. I get in for 3. Or I Driver and set up a better next turn. Yeah, I don't with double Executioner on the board. I really don't feel like, and he's already put it to a wall, which really doesn't help his cause. So I'm not fearing the Lancer right now. So I feel like just setting up for a better next turn, and just sending both these Executioners in. Happy to trade 1 for 1. So I might have a choice here of Windcrafter over the Apprentice if my Driver kicks the bucket. I'm not really sure right now. Windcrafter gets me a pair of flyers, but Alchemist gives me a chumper and, potentially a better chance of my 5th land. I feel good that he's emptied his hand now, because even if he draws a Vigilante Justice, he's just going to be top decking fuel for it. Ooh, this is dirty. So, I feel like returning the wall and the Inquisitor, because then that'll unbind this. And if he wants to block, then he has to just trade the Lancer for something. And if he wants to block, I'd rather him lose the Geist than the Inquisitor. he only has one card, per turn, basically. So, he might be able to afford paying keeping 3 open, especially with the red-white deck. So it's not like I want to lock up his mana by forcing him to keep the Inquisitor. He'd need to replay it anyway. So yeah, I think I like these two choices. Yeah, it's the best he could have done. I personally would have blocked a driver and let through an undead executioner so that you got to keep your Firebug Explorer. Everything I have on the ground right now. So I'd rather allow me to bring back a Wingcrafter than and keep a 3 toughness on the ground. Excellent. There's that land. So I can take out a wall and attack. He'll most likely block. And then I get back probably the Alchemist at this point, since I'm just going to be playing a flyer, so I don't necessarily need the Wingcrafter. I think I'd rather just get this down, and the next turn I can open up the skies with a Deathwind. And drawing the card this turn, as opposed to the next turn, just gives me a little bit more information. I was pretty intrigued by this guy when the set first came out, in a limited sense, but he's just plummeted in my estimation. He's a bad what's the can't block creature in this format. I just always want to say Crossway Vampire, but that's the 3 red 2/1 haste. I feel like he's just a bad version of that, an expensive version of that. So I'm going to attack with the driver and the Vanguard here after killing the wall. If he's got Zealous Strike, he's got it, and it survives, and I'm out of Deathwind, but at least I'll know before combat. Five in the air next turn. Looking pretty good. He knows I have a bunch of human frailties, and I've only cast 1. So, and by a bunch I mean he saw 2 very quickly.